I'm sorry, I can't do it justice. Oh, man, it's been a minute. I don't know why we keep doing this to ourselves.
Well, I mean, just life happens.
Sometimes.
You know, it's no ifs, ands, or buts about that one.
You know what else happens? Shit. Shit happens. But I'm looking forward to this one. This has always been one of my favorite movies, and it kind of leaves me questioning whatever happened to Billy Crystal.
I mean, he's still there. He's still around, man. Still doing stuff.
Is he?
Yeah. He's got a Netflix special.
I did not know that.
Well, no, I mean, I made that up. I don't know if I can't back that up.
You son of a bitch. All right, let's get started with the 1991 comedy classic, City Slicker. City Slickers. There's
it's plural. It's plural. There are 3 of them.
Okay. Oh, where do we even begin?
I can tell you where to begin.
The year
in Pamplona, Spain.
Yes.
For the bull run.
You know, every time I watched this scene, because there's such a crowd of men, or just people in general, I think it's mostly dudes that do the bull run.
Well, yeah, because we're idiots.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go stand in front of a 2,000-pound animal.
So it's
just trying to rip my asshole in half with a horn.
That's it.
Yep.
Bird's eye view of the street, this like cobblestone road that they're on, and because there's so many people dressed in white, it looks like they're swimming in a sea of milk. I don't know why I always thought that. This is weird. That's just
a very astute analogy, Morgan.
Oh, thank you for not making me feel stupid.
I just wanted to use the word astute.
Yeah, it was a good word usage. Yes.
Thank you.
But this was a good way to introduce the relationship of the 3 main characters, Mitch, Ed, and Phil.
Yeah, you can tell that they're all best friends and have been best friends for quite some time. It seems to me like they're guys that are in their late 30s that possibly grew up together, like they were all from the same neighborhood. But it's weird because at the same time, I got the sense that they did grow up together.
Yeah,
but
I can see that.
But it's odd because it's like, they don't really know anything about each other's childhoods. Like later in the movie when they're talking about the best day and worst day, and then, Ed says something about when he was 14, like that's when his dad left. It seems like the guys didn't know that.
But you never find out like when or how the 3 of them met
Correct.
One another. But I would be interested to find out. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. The whole bull run thing is hysterical because you can tell that the 3 of them are terrified, but Ed, Mr. Mustachio,
yeah,
he seems to be the only one that's having a good time.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Phil probably was having a good time, but you learn that's because, he wants to die.
Well, yeah,
because of who he's married to.
When you meet his wife, it's very obvious.
Arlene.
But when they get started running, like Phil is the first one to find a way out.
Yeah.
He what is it, like a sign hanging off the side of a building?
Yeah, that he jumps up onto.
Yeah, and he's like pulls himself up to get away from the bulls, and then Ed, I think he jumps into a crowd of people, maybe.
Yeah, he jumps up over a fence and into a crowd of people. But I mean, watching this movie, I've realized that Ed is just a horrible friend.
He really is.
Yeah, I mean, when like I'm in my mid 40s. Well, early to mid 40s.
You're on the right side of your 40s.
For now.
As am I.
But this is just one of those things where it's like, even when I was in my late 30s, I couldn't see myself being like, let me go to Spain and do a bull run because that just seems ridiculous.
Reckless.
Yeah. I mean, definitely not something on my bucket list where I'm like, yeah, I want an animal that weighs a ton to run towards me.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And then you learn that after everyone passes, like there are guys that like whip these bulls to make them more angry and go, I guess, run faster.
That's not right, Michael.
It's not. It's not right.
Oh yeah, that's so that leaves Mitch. He's the last one.
Yeah, and the bull singles him out.
There's one bull in particular. It's maybe because he's wearing blue.
Yeah.
Even though apparently they only see red. I don't know why. I don't even know if that's true. I think that's just like an old wives' tale that we heard as kids.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a psychologist.
But yeah.
But he's the only one wearing blue jeans and like a Mets jersey and a Mets ball cap.
Yep. Yep. And bull targets him and horn straight up the pooper.
Yep. Right in the ass.
Yeah.
Hello. Don't sew anything up that's supposed to remain open. Okay.
But this, right after that happens is where they cut to the opening credits. And this is something that they don't do anymore.
No.
And they did it for Christmas Vacation. And I feel like it was probably the same animator or animation company that did the intro for City Slickers too. But it's definitely funny and entertaining. It's not one that you want to just skip past because it's nostalgic to me, at least.
Yeah.
But, there's all this stuff where it's a cartoon version of what's supposed to be Mitch, but looks nothing like him at all. He's like messing with the bowl, dancing and stuff.
Yeah. See, and those kind of intros take me back because, that's like stuff was simpler then.
Simpler times.
Yeah.
Less pronouns. Fucking, don't get me started. All right. After the intro, it cuts to them in the doctor's office, still in Spain, and you see Phil laying face down on a table. Mitch. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's right.
Phil's taking pictures.
Yes.
Oh, good. Yeah, blind him with the flash.
El doctor. Hello. But this is where you kind of find out how, Ed is kind of the perpetrator of these shenanigans. These kind of midlife crisis adventures that he takes them on, and Mitch just feels like he's forced to do this stuff. And
I like it because he was like, we're sheep. And he was like, we're not sheep. And he was like, yeah, he tells us what to do and we do it. And he's like, hey, did I make you run? And he's like, no, a 2,000-pound raging animal spitting bull snot all over Spain. That's what made me run. You made me stay in front of it.
That's it.
I mean, and that's, to me, that's not a friend that I want to have in my life. That just seems toxic.
Yeah. So, there is a bit of tension in regards to their relationship, just, for the sake of, Mitch is a simple guy. I think
and
he's
he wants
kind of
simple things.
Right. And he doesn't feel like maybe that kind of adventurous stuff is for him, even though he's kind of in a rut with his job and everything, which you find out.
Well, you find out it's not even just his job. It's like his life.
In general, right?
The minute he took away my authority, I should have quit.
But I like when they're getting on the plane, and it's funny because it's like the three guys were the only ones that did the run, but their wives went along with them.
Yeah.
And when Mitch is on the plane, he's got padding all in his pants.
What? I look like your mother.
But then you get to see Phil's wife, and just one look at her, and you can tell that she is not an easy person to get along with. Phil stops to say something to Mitch, and then his wife is just standing right up on him. She's like, Phil, I'm standing.
I know. God, she's such a horrible person.
Yes, this woman. But, you start to see the kind of relationship that they all have and, where they're at in their lives, and Ed, he's kind of clinging on to his youth as much as possible.
Yeah. And, I think that his, the way he's clinging on to youth is he's, at the beginning he's dating. They're dating. He's not married yet, but that 23, 24-year-old underwear model.
Like,
but Mom, you said, let's see what she looks like after she has 2 kids.
The young Jake Gyllenhaal.
I know, man. God, what an introduction to his career.
I'm pretty sure that's the first thing that he ever did. I mean, just small, tiny role playing Mitch's kid.
Yeah. But I want to meet Jake Gyllenhaal in real life because I want to know if he can still do the shoulder popping thing that is epically disgusting.
He's probably never thought about that.
Yeah. And then,
I'd be curious too.
yeah.
For
Who
sure.
could that be? I know 9 people, and they're all here.
Yeah, but the whole thing about Ed, it's like, and I can't remember who said. I think Mitch said it. He said like, the older you date, the older you get, the younger the women you date. He said pretty soon you're going to be dating sperm.
Yeah, Mitch said that to him. But he was like, what? Phil's not complaining. He was like, yeah, but look at Phil. He's like, look at him. He's pretending to be asleep so he doesn't have to talk to his wife.
Yeah, so they...
You've met her. She's the one that gets plastered at the Christmas parties and calls him a retard.
Right. But I like how it cuts to them... it cuts to him waking up on his 39th birthday.
Yeah, it's a year later.
And his mom, like, religiously calls him.
At
like,
the same
first,
time when
first,
he was
First thing in the
born,
morning, goes
yeah.
through the whole of her getting rushed to the hospital and everything, to the point where, like, Mitch knows exactly what she's saying.
Yeah,
So,
I like the father.
Yes.
Because when he was like, I'll put your father on, and he was like, hey, Dad, how you doing? And he was like, I'm losing feeling in my left leg.
Here's your mother. But, you know, he's on the cusp of hitting 40, and it's not settling well with him.
2 years ago, I like his wife when she was like, 2 years ago, I asked what you wanted for your birthday. You said a CAT scan. What? I had a headache. Seems pretty drastic to me. It's like, you know, just
take a Tylenol.
Yeah, and, you know, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Get over it. He's like checking himself in the mirror. He's like, do I look a year older?
Yeah.
Like,
so,
honey, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Everybody
we all
looks
look a year older.
Nah, I think my favorite part of the entire movie has to be his birthday party. Just because of the fact that, I mean, Phil in this is epic. You know, his mistress shows up and she was like, but I like, he was like, Nancy, what are you doing here? Who's on register 9?
Yeah, everybody's enjoying the party, mingling, socializing, all that, and knocking the door. And Mitch is like, what? I know 9 people, and they're all here.
There's way more than 9 people at this party.
Yeah, I don't know if he means 9 groups of people. It's the only logic I can think of.
Yeah, that or, I mean, I guess it would be... I mean, but even if you take the amount of people that are at this party and cut them in half, it's still more than 9.
I feel like
so.
I'm
assuming
accurate,
that his wife was probably like, "Oh, come, like they're my friends too."
Now, a lot of people, when they see this girl, this mystery lady at the door for the first time, they probably wouldn't recognize her by face, but they would definitely recognize her voice.
Lisa Simpson.
If you've ever watched The Simpsons, yes.
And if you haven't watched The Simpsons, then by God, you are not living life.
You have not lived. Yet.
I'm late. Why is she telling you this, Phil?
I missed my period.
I'm her boss. We have a health plan.
And we have a health plan.
Fine, I'll just call him from the bedroom. The bedroom? Ha! How would you know where the bedroom is? It's like, I'm calling. Go ahead, call him. I'm sure he's home. It's his night to be with the other neo-Nazis. So this is when like 12 years just culminates into one night, and it just happens to be at Mitch's birthday party. And then, of course, after that scene is, you know, Mitch's wife, she's like, great party. And she immediately turns it into something that it doesn't need to be. I mean, I do commend her for saying, hey, don't come to Florida with us because you're just going to be miserable. And then you're going to make everyone else miserable, and nobody wants to be around that. No, ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, she knows that he's going through something.
Yeah, but I think she's looking at it as, oh, so this is what you've been trying to tell me. You want to have an affair. Like, you want to have an affair on me because Phil's having an affair. And it's like, well, no, Phil hates his life and can't stand his wife.
Yeah.
The only thing that's probably good in his marriage is his 2 children who you never meet.
Yeah, Mitch loves his family. He's in a rut. You know, he's not being driven into the arms of another woman or anything like that. So yeah, I don't know why she took it there. That seemed a bit extreme.
And I mean, I'm sorry to our female listeners, but I mean, you do that. It's typical women behavior. You know, I mean, I've been married for quite a while, and you know, it's quite a while, forever. But it's just one of those things where it's like, you know, I mean, yes, all women do this. They're gonna make something out of something that's not there.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I've remained single.
Good for you. I live vicariously through you.
I don't do anything.
I know, and I love it.
Okay.
You think I want to be out there doing stuff?
Way to set that bar high.
No, I just want to sit at home and have some GD silence.
That's it.
Yep.
I do enjoy that part. For sure.
I miss those days.
But yeah, she tells him, like, I'm not saying it's okay if you don't want to go to Florida. I'm saying I don't want you to go.
Yeah. And then he makes a big deal out of it later in the movie because he was like, hey, my wife just flat out said, I don't want you around. And she didn't say that.
No.
She was like, I want you to go somewhere and see if you can find your happiness again.
Because during the party, this is when Phil and Ed corner him. Well, not really corner him, but they show him what their plan is for this birthday. And this is to take him to this cattle ranch, you know.
Yeah, to do a cow drive.
To do the whole...
What, like in trucks?
Yes, more bulls. Like, he can't get away from these damn cows. I don't know what's Ed's obsession with these animals.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I worked every weekend for a year to get you this.
Yeah, and it's like you could have discussed it with him first.
Yeah.
It's like probably, but they know he would have said no. That's just his personality.
Yeah, because he just doesn't want to do anything.
Like, we've got to force you to get out of your shell. Mitchie the kid.
All right, Mitchie the kid.
So he reluctantly agrees to...
Well, no, he doesn't agree to it. He just flat out shoots him down. His wife is the one that's like, no, you got to go. Like, get out of here. We don't want you around. And she didn't say that, but that's how he took it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mean he agreed at that point when they were talking to him about it. I just mean eventually it happens and he goes.
I do like that scene, though, because he shows the cowboy, like, wrestling the cow down to the ground. And then Phil's just like, I bet I could do that to Arlene. And they just look at him and he's like, what? You've seen her ears?
Yeah. So they're like, I think they were the first to show up at the ranch.
Yeah. And then the dentists show up.
Yeah.
And then Ira and Barry. And I mean,
it's weird how everybody introduces themselves because, like you said yesterday, it's like they all kind of reveal more about themselves than they should.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand some things, but I mean, I noticed it with Phil because it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, hi, you know, this is Ed. And he's like, yeah, I'm Ed. I own a sporting goods store.
Yeah, his face is on the back of his jacket.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, show him the jacket. And then he was like, oh, I'm Phil. He's like, I committed adultery. I lost my wife, my job, my kids. I have nothing really left to live for. Yeah. And they're like, oh. And then so Mitch, just trying to break the tension's like, his jacket's being made. But I like Bonnie because she just comes up and she's like, hi, my name's Bonnie. I was supposed to meet someone here, but they couldn't make it, so I don't even know what I'm doing here. I think I'm just going to leave.
She's like, I'm feeling really out of place.
Yeah, and it's because you are the only woman that's going to be on this cattle drive.
That is true.
With like 8 other dudes.
Yeah. But then you got the 2 dentists.
Yeah.
This is like... It's funny the way that this even comes up because it just kind of speaks to the younger generation, how they tend to make things a bigger deal than they need to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, look at that. We're both dentists and we're black.
Yeah. We're black and we're dentists. Let's not make an issue out of it. That says the son. And it's like his dad is like, they're not making an issue out of it. You
made the issue out of it.
It's like,
God dang, double dern.
That's right.
Cheese and crackers. I can't take my son anywhere.
But then you meet Ira and Barry, who are basically like,
like
Ben
ice cream,
like Ben and Jerry's almost.
Yeah,
he's like, but you don't look like the ones in the commercials. He's like,
yeah,
the good-looking guys. Like, if it were us, could you eat?
Woof.
And you would probably recognize these two, even if you don't know their names. The larger gentleman, if you've ever seen Billy Madison.
Yeah, he did a couple other Adam Sandler movies. I think he was the caseworker in Big Daddy.
He was.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And then the other guy, I mean, God, he's been in everything.
He's been in a lot of stuff. I don't know his name or what he's been in because he's never been like a lead.
No. I think I know he did play Larry in what is it? The Three Stooges movie.
Oh.
But that's because he looked just like Larry.
He definitely did. He does. To this day.
Yep. So, no, I mean, but yeah, the cattle drive, they teach them how to do everything, but I like when the ranch
lead,
owner,
whatever, yeah.
The ranch owner, he starts it off, and then Ed's just like, yeehaw! And he's like, that's a good yeehaw, son.
This whole introduction is funny because, you know that he does this, I don't know how many times a year, but, you know, it's a good way for them to make residual cash.
Yeah, it's a pretty good setup, man.
For sure. And
they drive cattle from Texas to Colorado.
He's got his whole spiel ready to go for each group of people that shows up to do this cattle drive. And
and then the cat, but it's weird because
he's like, this cattle ranch has been in my family for 5 generations. And his wife,
it's just like, nope, 4.
She doesn't say anything.
Yeah, she just holds up the 4 fingers.
She's like shakes her head. Yeah,
my husband's an idiot.
He does this every time.
I don't know how many times I have to tell him. You know, it's 4. It's 4 generations.
He's like, no, I know you guys are all from the city, but you know, after a few days, we're gonna have you doing the same kind of stuff. We'll have you roping cattle and you know, picking up strays and going across country just as beautiful as heaven.
Yep.
And
he's like, you came out of here, city slickers. You're gonna go home, here? Cowboys.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just me because I've never, I've worked on a farm, but I mean, I wouldn't be like, oh, well, I'm a cowboy. So I don't really understand the entire purpose of, they drive the cattle from Texas to Colorado, and then they're there for 2 weeks, and then they drive them back to Texas. So that to me doesn't make any sense. It's like, why move the same cows from one place to another?
So they can get people from the city to pay money to do this.
I guess.
To get this experience, I guess.
All right.
Yeah. It's just back and forth. These cows don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
They're going forward because you're yelling moo cow or you're eehaw. But yeah, they try, you know, they try to train, and everybody seems to be picking up on,
except for
lassoing, except for Mitch.
Yeah, but I think Mitch just,
he doesn't want to.
I don't think it's not that he doesn't want to. I just don't think he cares enough to be like, oh, well, let me put my heart and everything else into it.
Right.
So, and then you realize that Bonnie is, you know, obviously, like I said, the only woman that's going to be on this cattle drive with like 8 to 10 other men,
including a couple of
JR and TJ.
Jeff. TR and Jeff.
TR and Jeff. That's right. They're honest to God, real cowboys.
Yeah. Alcoholics.
Yep. And so was Cookie. Cookie was also an alcoholic.
He very, very much was intoxicated throughout most of his scenes.
But Lord, we give you Curly. Try not to piss him off. What, that's it? So what? I got chicken burning.
Dude, but I like when they're before they start training and everything, he's like, tell them what they're going to be eating, Cookie. And he says this, he's like, you ain't going to be eating no sauteed bottled water, whatever the hell he said, like
he doesn't say anything.
City food. He's like, what you're eating is brown, hot, and plenty of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like he doesn't say what he's going to be cooking.
No, he doesn't say the actual food.
Yeah.
You just assume that it's going to be brown.
Yep.
So it could be steak.
I got chicken burning.
Could be chicken. Could be beans.
At one point, it was alive.
Yes, but it's all brown once it's done. Once he's done with it. But there ain't going to be no cookies.
So, yeah, Curly's introduction is funny because, you know,
TR and Jeff are harassing Bonnie.
Yeah, and Billy Crystal tries to stand up for her, which he does a good job. But Ed is like, yeah, I'll take the tall one. He's like, no, you know how you get it. It's going to be high noon.
He's like, I'm just going to go over there and talk to her.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, how you guys doing? In that Billy Crystal voice. I can't do it justice. But what's Bonnie?
Yeah. So, I think it's funny because he was like, I just thought I'd mosey on over. Hope I did it correctly.
I've never moseyed before. You know?
I even sashayed
once. Yeah.
Nah, so, I mean, that and then, but I do like, you know, Jack Palance because he plays Curly, and may he rest.
Yes.
He's a phenomenal, phenomenal actor. But I do like that he ropes. I don't know if it was TR or Jeff. I don't know.
I don't know which one was which, honestly. Yeah. It's not important. They both suck.
Yeah. So, but he ropes him around the neck, and he was like, you owe this young lady an apology. And I just like he's sitting there, and it's like, okay,
no.
One, he's already had his ass whipped.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, no.
He still doesn't want to apologize.
Yeah, I'm not going to apologize. And it's like, so he pulls out that knife and throws it straight at his crotch. Misses by just a few inches.
And immediately.
Yeah, and he was, oh, God, I'm so sorry, man. Never happen again. So I just, that just goes to show where it's like, I do like Billy Crystal, though, when he walks over and he was like, come on. This isn't 90s behavior.
Yeah, like they gave a shit about that kind of thing.
Looking at him like, what?
These guys aren't progressive at all. Yeah, but the whole reason, like, Mitch was going to invite Bonnie to go, practice roping with them, like him and his buddies, and she immediately wants to leave.
It's like, no, I think she's
okay
good
with
right
us,
here.
friend.
Yeah.
You stepped on my foot.
It's like, the hell he did.
He's like, he did not, you horse's ass.
Yeah, Ed is just, and it's funny because what was that one line they were talking about? And he's like, it's not a competition, Ed. And he's like, yeah, it is. Everything's a competition.
Life is a competition.
Yeah. And we discussed that, he has passed away. So he
Bruno
lost.
Kirby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he lost that life.
That's not right.
I know. It's not. But, well. I'll deal with that later.
So, yeah, this is where you meet Curly before you even know what his name is. At that point, it's like, you see how leathery he was? It's like a saddlebag with eyes.
I do like that later when he's talking about him. And I can't remember what he says, but he was like, he's behind me, isn't he?
Yeah, because they're about ready to get go to sleep. It's the night before the cattle drive.
Yeah. I like Curly just walks over, and they're like, yeah, he's right behind you. And he was like, time to turn in. Everyone's like, good night.
Yep.
Gets up and leaves, and he turns around, and he's like, I was just joking. Sorry. And he's just like, crap, bigger than you.
Yeah, I've used that line before, actually. When I still lived in California, my grandma lived with us, my grandma on my dad's side. And one day, like, I think my mom was at work at the time, and we kept getting, like, this guy kept calling the house.
Yeah.
And, like, a prank caller, whatever. And I think he would call daily. It's like he knew that my grandma was there, typically alone, because I was most of the time at school during the week. But then one time he called, and I'm like, I'll answer the phone this time. And he was like, I can't remember if he asked for her by name or not, but I just used that line. I'm like, I crap bigger than you. And then I just hung up on him. But, I was probably like 12 or 13 at the time.
I was going to say in that prepubescent voice.
It probably sounded more like,
crap bigger than you, mister.
That's it. I sounded like a fucking Muppet.
I love it.
Oh, man.
Greatest story ever.
Thanks. Appreciate it. But I like when Mitch is like, good night, sleep tight. And, Bonnie's going to bed, and he's like, see, that's flirting. Yeah, and he's like, no.
Nah.
Ain't flirting.
I don't think so.
He's like, no, I like your ass. Can I wear it as a hat?
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Well, it's different.
Because, like, Ed keeps bringing up throughout the movie, it's like, if Mitch had the opportunity to get with another woman, it's like he's obsessed with that.
Yeah, and he is, just because of the fact that you find out that, he has since married this 24-year-old underwear model who is incredibly gorgeous. But at the same time, it's just like, and he even says it doesn't make any sense to me at all, because he's like, I don't want to fool around on Kim. And it's like, okay, well, don't. Like, I mean, that's simple enough. It's like, hey,
very easy concept. Don't cheat on your spouse.
Yeah.
Period.
I mean, my gosh, man. You pretty sure it says somewhere in the vows.
Yeah.
About that.
I think there's a thing.
Yeah.
A little blurb.
It's in the fine print.
That's it.
So it's just, I mean, but that's what you find out is, he was like, oh, well, she wants to have kids, and
he doesn't.
Yeah, well, it's not that he doesn't, but he's just like, oh, I just really feel like if I have kids, then that's it.
That's
like, I'm with this one woman. So it's
it solidifies the fact that
I'm married.
This is forever.
Yeah. So it reminds me of old school when Will Ferrell's just like, I'm feeling the pressure. Like, I'm only going to have one vagina. this one here for the rest of my life. It's
Yeah.
like, well, yeah, that's
what you're signing up for.
yeah, that's what marriage is.
But I like how Ed uses the analogy of the variety pack of cereal.
Yeah,
You know, the ones on special.
yeah.
He's like, so you have the variety pack of cereal, and in one day, it's like, you can't have the variety pack anymore. You have to pick one, and that's all you can eat for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
It's like,
and then you
make
wake
it sound
up one
so
day.
bad.
Well, it's funny because he's like, and then you just wake up one day and you're like, I'm not
hungry.
You can't get an erection, can you?
He's like, hey, I can get an erection anytime I want. Watch. But it's this tension, this odd tension between Ed and Phil.
Yeah.
Throughout the movie, and it's like Phil is calling Ed out. He's like, because he was talking about not wanting to mess around on Kim. He's like, then don't.
Yeah.
He's like, well, that sounds pretty good coming from
The known adulterer.
right. He's like, what's that? Can I get a price check?
Yeah. He's
Price check.
What do you use for
register
protection?
9.
Paper or plastic?
It's so fucked up.
It is.
But that whole scene, that whole line about the who's running register 9? It's like, why is that your concern right now?
I know. It's like, not why are you here at my friend's party? And I mean, at some like, I'm really kind of hoping he's not that stupid. But I mean, part of you would be like, oh, I know exactly why you're here.
Mm-hmm.
But this is neither the time
Nor the place
to bring this up.
How the hell does she know where Mitch lives anyway?
Because his housekeeper told her. Oh, they at Mr. Mitch's. You go see him there.
But yeah, she's probably never been there before.
Here's the address.
I give to you. It's okay.
But I do like it when they were talking about, I think Mitch says something about it later when he was like, oh, no. He was like, yeah, that mistake showed up at his house and then showed up at my house. Because he was talking to Ed about it. Because Ed's like, oh, yeah. It's like, well, if you could have sex with anyone in the world and Barbara would never find out, would you do it? And he was like, no, like I wouldn't do it. And he goes, I'd know. And he was like, okay, let's say a spaceship lands. And he was like, oh, good. Yeah, something that could actually happen. Okay, well, what do you have? It's like a spaceship lands and the most beautiful woman in the world gets off and she just wants to have amazing sex with you and then leave forever. Would you do it? And he was like, no, it's like, it's not going to happen. Yeah. He was like, no, Barbara would never find out. And he was like,
it doesn't matter. She doesn't find out because I would know.
Yeah. And I mean, that's very commendable because I think most men would be like, oh, yeah, of course I'd do it.
So even though he's miserable in his life, you can tell that he still loves his wife and his family.
Yeah.
You know, but that's when Ed's like, you know, you're one of those glasses half empty kind of guys, aren't you?
Yeah, after the funeral. Because I like it when he was like, you know, it really makes you think and stop and think. And then he was like, all right, I'm stopping it. And he's like, 25 minutes.
20 something, yeah.
It's like 25 minutes and 17 seconds. And you were like, what? And he was like, oh, I bet Ed $20 that
you couldn't last 30 minutes before you start talking about death.
And he's like, what? It's like, he was like, oh, yeah, no. He's like, we just came from a funeral and it's your favorite topic.
Yeah, that's true. I like when they have that one stray. And this is like the first stray. And then they had this agreement. He's like, all right, well, you get the first one. He's like, I'll get the second one. And then Ed will get the third one. He's like, we'll just do like a round robin.
Then him, and then you, then me, then him. And he was like, oh, okay.
Okay, so who gets this one?
You do. Oh, okay, good.
But he gets this one stray cow. And it's funny because when that other cow joins the herd, his horse starts like backing up like a car.
Yeah.
Next to the other two. He's like, weird. Look, I'm moonwalking. I'd like to thank all my fans.
But yeah, no, it's the cattle drive is great, but I do like that he gets to bond with Curly because, you know, some of the cows take off after Mitch tries to make the morning coffee. Yeah,
he brings a battery operated
coffee grinder.
Yeah. And it spooks the cattle, so they start running.
Yeah. He's got a stampede in your tent. But I like that Bonnie's just sitting up on a rock, like meditating.
She's got headphones in.
Yeah, and I can't believe that I want to know what she was listening to.
Like, they weren't over-the-ear headphones. They were, like
I mean, they went inner ears.
Yeah, I think they were earbuds. the wired ones. But yeah, you'd still be able to hear any of the outside noise.
Yeah, but I mean,
unless you got them things cranked up, I don't know.
Yeah. So listen, you can listen to Pantera walk at a very high level, and I guess not hear anything.
Clearly, doubt that's what she was listening to.
Hey, you never know.
She was listening to the sounds of nature. In nature. Weird. And then you got Ira and Barry.
And up next is the sound of a stampede.
So relaxing. No. Do it. Slowly.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Very slowly.
But you got Ira taking a shower, and I don't know which one's which.
I don't either.
One of them's taking the shower. The other one's got the camcorder.
Yeah.
Filming. Like, hey, Mom, see, we're keeping clean.
I do like when the stampede starts, and then, he's filming the cows. He's like, look, the cows are going away.
Yeah. Oh, bye, cows. So are we done? Is that it?
Yeah, I like it when they're trying to set up get the camp after the stampede stops, and they're trying to just clean up the camp, and everyone's looking at Billy Crystal like, really? And he's like, what? I just want to make coffee.
But it's funny,
French roast.
What got the cows to stop running was Curly just shoots his pistol up in the air. It's like he could have done that 5 minutes earlier.
Exactly. But he does bring Billy Crystal. He's like, yeah, some of the cow got out, and he's like, we're gonna have to round them up. He was like, it's gonna be you and me.
He's like, alone?
Yeah. And he was like, all right. He goes, I'll round up the rest of the cows and I'll catch up. And he was like, you mean we'll catch up?
He doesn't acknowledge.
Yeah. But I do like Phil, because Phil's like, I swear if anything happens to him, you make it sound like he's going to avenge Mitch's death.
But no.
He's like,
I'm going to take a run at Barbara.
Yeah, I'm going after Barbara.
Oh, I do like, and this is where, Ira and Barry, they're sitting down having dinner. I think this is their first night of the cattle drive. And one of them says to the other, he's like, what would be the perfect ice cream to follow up this meal? And he's like, I can't remember what he says. It's like a buttered toffee or toasted something.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I can't remember what he actually said.
Yeah, I don't remember either, but I know it's after they get back, because after Mitch and Curly get back, because he's feeding Norman.
That's right.
In the bottle.
You're right. This was the following day, or maybe the day after.
Yeah.
Either way, it's such a good scene, because it's like
he was like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, I think he says Ira, so I think the skinny one is Barry.
I think you're right.
And he was like, Ira can. He was like,
he can pick the perfect ice cream
to
for
follow
any
meal.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? He was like, huh? And he's like, yeah, try them.
He's like, good.
He was like, okay. He's like,
challenge him.
Franks and beans. And he's like,
scoop of chocolate, scoop of vanilla. Don't waste my time. And then he throws his plate.
Yeah.
Over to Mitch. He's like, come on, push me.
Sea bass.
Broiled?
Broiled?
He's like, sauteed.
He's like, broiled or grilled? And he's like, no, sauteed. He's like, okay.
I'm with you.
He's
Potatoes au gratin.
He's like, uh-huh. He's like,
asparagus.
He's like,
it's like he starts sweating. He looks over.
But I like his brother looks at him like, come on, you got it. You got it. And then he's like, rum raisin. Woof.
Like Barry kisses Ira on the
what
forehead.
What do you mean, woof?
How do you know?
He's like 1,400 retail chains. That's how we know. Woof.
That's not an answer.
Yeah. It's so funny, because I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, right after he answers rum raisin, like, whew, and then they give each other like the woof high five. And then immediately after, he's like, well, how do you know he's right? And he's like, 1,400 retail stores. That's how I know. And then they give each other like an extra woof high five.
They like the woof.
Yep.
And it's funny to me, because we have up here.
But then they start talking about the secret of life. And he's like, yeah, it's just the one thing. He's like, no, Curly knows. He's like, yeah. Yeah. And he's like, I'm going to invite him over. He's like, actually, really great guy to talk to.
I'm sure he is.
And then he walks up and he was like, Curly, you want to come and sit and talk with us? And he's like, he is such a real cowboy. He sleeps with his eyes open so he can still watch the herd.
Right.
And then it's funny because everyone at the campfire is just like,
that
that's
doesn't
a
sound
problem.
right.
I know. And then you just kind of be like, don't worry. It'll come to you.
Curly, he'll find it.
Yeah.
When in Rome. Curly.
Hello. Yeah, no, so they have to bury Curly.
Unfortunately.
Yep. But it's funny because they're like, don't you need like a license to do this? And then Cookie's just like, nah, this is where Curly would want to be buried.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But a lot of good stuff happens when it's just Mitch and Curly, gathering the strays. Mitch even brings up just making small talk about, he's like, if there's a spaceship lands. And it's like, I don't know why he's giving this speech to Curly because, Curly's not married.
Yeah.
So why would it matter if he never spoke to that person again?
Yeah. He was like, oh, you ever been married? And he was like, nah.
He's like, you ever been in love?
It's like, oh, yeah.
Once.
And then he tells a story. And it's like, but it's so funny because he's just sitting there and he was, the story is he was driving a cattle from Texas in the Panhandle. And he just looks out in the field, sun setting in the back, and this girl stands up. I guess they had been working in the field all day, stretches her back, so he just sees her silhouette. And he was like, oh, what'd you do? And he's like, nah, just turned and rode off. He's like, but you didn't talk to her? He's like,
no.
He's like, I figured it wouldn't get any better than that.
It's like, you know what? That's great. It's like, no, that's
not
not great.
It's like, you could have been with her.
You city folk worry about a lot of shit.
But it's funny because he's just like, my choice. And he was like, I would have rode over and talked to her. And he was like, that's your choice.
But yeah, when he does the whole spaceship thing, he's like, is she a redhead?
Yeah.
He's like, I like redheads.
Yeah. But then I like when he's talking about his wife. And he was like, basically, my wife says, I don't want you around anymore. And he was like, is she a redhead?
He's obsessed. Hey, everybody's got his bag.
Yeah, man.
And that's his.
Nothing wrong with it.
But the birth of Norman is such a good scene too.
Yeah, it is a great scene, and I've told you, like, I actually did that when I was 12 or 13 years old. I was on my grandparents' farm in Kentucky.
Hopefully you were wearing gloves.
No, actually I wasn't. And my grandparents, they had a few cows and a bull, and just one morning he would always go out and check the cow because one of them was pregnant. And he would always go out in the morning and check. Well, one morning he just forgot, so I brought it to his attention. I'm sorry, I haven't seen the cows all morning. So we went looking for them, and they were all in the woods around the one that was trying to give birth. Now, the calf was, dead, but we still had to get the calf out.
I was wondering why you had to help.
Yeah.
For the record, everybody, this was a female cow.
Yes.
Because only females can get pregnant. Go on.
Go on. I mean, but what had happened is I guess she had gone into labor some point either in the early morning or the night before, and the calf wouldn't come out. So she would try to get up to move and fall back down. So it was determined that she had beaten the calf to death.
Oh, man.
But he would have lost the cow too if we didn't get the calf out. So I had to.
So was she trying to move, or was she trying to move?
See what you did there. So so the only way was to actually get my hands up inside and pull her out. So the part when he pulls his hand out and like he's like, this was not in the brochure, and like all that jelly just goes flying. That's an actual thing.
It looks like jelly.
And it's funny because I told my my papa, I was like, this is just disgusting.
Did it smell bad?
It didn't smell good.
I could just imagine it can't smell pleasant.
Yeah, it did not smell pleasant. But I can sit here and honestly tell you, like, as soon as we got done, I went up to the house and I called my mother because I was getting homesick.
Because now keep me honest.
Okay. Go on.
The cow it's only one hole, right? Or do they have a separate rectum?
No, they have a butt.
Because it just looks like one gigantic hole back there.
Well, because they had to use a fake cow. I mean, they couldn't just use a real cow. So, I mean, they did the best they could with what they had.
I mean, I've never seen a real cow gina, so I have no basis for comparison. But yeah.
All right.
Nope,
Let's go.
We're not doing it. I'm not that curious.
But my papa was funny because I told him, I was like, oh, God, it's like, I got to go and wash this stuff off. And he was like, just lick it off your fingers. All right. I was like,
Nope.
oh, God.
It'll make your hair silky and smooth.
It's coming back up. Nah, so, but then, Curly has to kill the cow because, she was dying, suffering.
She was suffering. Yeah. But I like once he pulls the cow out and it's like laying on top of him.
He's like, look what I did.
I made a cow.
I made a cow.
But it's like,
it looks like you.
But in that moment, it's like finally Curly and Mitch have a little bit of a moment together,
I like that the cow just goes walking off and he's like, look, he's walking already. He gets that from my side of the family. We all walked very early.
Yeah, and when Mitch is talking, Curly has to shoot the adult cow because she was dying, unfortunately.
He's like, she was dying.
She was suffering. But
succotash.
Oh my God.
I was wondering how long it would take you to catch on.
Jesus Christ. But they have to spend the night, separate from the rest of everyone.
Yeah.
And they get a fire going and Mitch pulls out a harmonica.
And Curly's just sharpening his knife.
Yeah, on a leather strap. And
like a real man.
That's how men do it.
Yep.
Mitch starts playing the harmonica and Curly tells him to stop.
And he was like, listen. He was like, I understand. He was like, I did make a joke at your expense because the first time I ever tried to talk to you embarrassed me.
He's like,
now you're over there sharpening your knife trying to scare me, which you're doing a pretty good job.
Yep.
But if you're going to kill me, then get on with it. If not, shut the hell up.
I'm on vacation.
So he just goes over and sits down, but I like it when he starts playing again. He's like,
but you could hear how shaky his voice. Yeah, he did that so well. I mean, I don't know if that was like after, like post edit kind of thing, or if he actually did that, but it was very effective.
Yeah.
Yeah, Curly starts singing the song that Mitch is playing on the harmonica,
which I just know something about.
Tumbling Tumbleweeds.
Yeah, the Tumbling Tumbleweeds.
Just Google it. It's Googleable, I think.
So then, they finally catch up, and then that's when Curly eventually passes away. May he rest.
May he rest.
And I think this is a good spot for a break.
Yeah. Why not?
So we'll be back in 5. Hey, if we're not back in 20, come looking.
Just wait longer. And just like that, we're back. Motherfucker.
That's right, motherfucker.
So we got to give credit. I mean, I know you kind of touched on it a little bit. No, that sounds disgusting. Let me rewind.
You know what? Stop everything.
Yes, we're done. This episode out.
Can't wait to see you guys next week.
Oh, God.
Notable Nation.
Touch it again. So, no, the scene where, Jake has his dad come to school, it's like bring your dad to work kind of deal.
Yeah.
So the first guy that talks, and it's like you only see him and Mitch, and this big construction worker dude who's sitting on a chair with his ass crack hanging out, and that's all that Mitch can focus on.
Correct.
It's pretty disgusting. But this story that he tells is so good because he's telling it to a group of like 9-year-old kids, and he's not holding back anything. No. And the teacher doesn't do anything to stop it. She just makes faces the entire time.
It's like, so we got this whole sidewalk blocked off, and this lady comes, the lady with the huge dark glasses and the Bloomingdale bags. She just walks right through our tape, and I yell down, "Hey, you stupid bitch.
You can't go through there."
It's like, then a pipe fitting bursts, and this huge 2,000-pound goddamn crane comes crashing right down on her legs. And she's like, "Oh, my God, my legs. And I'm like,
so
no fucking shit, legs.
You got a 2,000-pound goddamn crane on. So you know how sometimes in emergency situations you get like superhuman strength? So I reached down. I was able to lift up the crane, And then Armando, I think is the name that he said,
Yeah.
was able to swing or slide her out from underneath the crane.
And the doctors were able to save her legs.
So the moral of the story is don't walk where you're not supposed to, because there may not always be someone with superhuman strength to save your little ass. And don't do drugs.
That's it.
That's it. But then when they bring up Mitch, he's like, Jake, do you want to introduce your dad? He's like, hi, this is my dad, Mitch. He's a submarine commander.
He's like, Danny. It's like, he works for WBLM radio.
I know. Super boring. And then he goes on this whole tangent about what happens when you reach each new decade of your life. You know,
it's like when you're in your 20s are a blur. When you're in your 30s, you just get married, you have kids, and you think to yourself, what happened in my 20s?
Yeah.
He's like, and then in your 40s, you're going to have a procedure. Well, it's a surgery,
but you'll call it a procedure.
It's like, and then in your 50s, you retire, move down to Florida. He's like, and then in your 60s, you'll have a major operation. He's like, in your 70s, he was like, you have dinner at 1, lunch at like 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
He's like, breakfast
the night before.
He's like, and then you go to the mall every day and you're just walking around muttering, how come the kids don't call? How come the kids don't
It's
call?
like looking for the best frozen yogurt place or some shit. It's so fucking depressing.
Yeah. And then he starts talking about, well, what does he say? He's like, oh, in your 80s, you'll have a major stroke. He was like, and then you have a Jamaican woman
who your wife hates, but you call mama.
Any questions?
That's it. And then once again, the teacher just gives a face.
Huh? Oh my God, these kids have nothing left to live for. Thank you, Mitch.
Yeah. Thank you for depressing us all. The kids can't even react to it. They're just like, what's happening? I feel the life being sucked from my body. I hate it.
So, well, going back to the cattle drive, Curly's dead now. So there's no one really to watch. You're to keep an eye on everyone and keep everyone.
To make sure that TJ and Jeff or TR and Jeff are staying in line.
Well, not even that, but you have Cookie, who is also an alcoholic, and with no guidance really on this cattle drive now, he just starts drinking.
He just starts acting out. Yeah, he gets hammered. He paints a happy face on his ass. Yeah, he's just like drives the what the hell, carriage with all the food in it.
Yeah,
and they're like, he's
everybody just throwing our food away.
That's what Ira's concerned is, because he's the big one.
But it's funny because he's going straight towards that ravine, and he's like, he's going towards a ravine, and he was like, oh, I'm sure
they see it. Yeah.
Now they just, obviously he goes jumping off of the wagon and lands, breaks both of his legs. The horses just fly off the cliff. And then I like Bonnie. She was like, I can't believe we buried horses. He was like, actually, no, the impact drove them into the ground. We just
threw some dirt on them. It's like, what can we say about, it was like Peaches and Buttercup or something like that. He's like, so let's recap. So far, we've buried our trail boss
and 2 horses. And then it was funny because he was like, oh, both Cookie's legs are broken, so we got to, and he's like, oh, God, they're going to shoot him. I just know they're going to shoot him. But the dentists, they're like, hey, we have, we'll take him to the nearest town.
He's like, Dad, we're dentists. What are we going to do? Give him a cleaning?
It's like, no, but we're like, and it's true. I mean, because to be a dentist, you still do have medical training.
Right. He's like, we've got medical training, son. He's like, we've got a better chance than anybody. He's like, and it'll still be fun.
Yeah. Ride with me.
Yeehaw.
So they take Cookie on, and then they find Cookie's whiskey. So obviously TR and Jeff, they get drunk that night. And they do some, I've been drunk before, but I don't think I've ever been drunk to where I'm like, let me go get this calf, put a gun in its mouth to force this guy to come out and
fuck with
talk
Mitch.
to us. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
This is a pretty messed up scene. It's like this scene always bothered me because it's like I hate cruelty to animals in any sense.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like seeing animals in movies die and anything like that. Humans, yeah, sure. That's fine. You've made your choices.
Right. But, they see what's going on outside, and he's like, does Mitch want to come out and play?
Yeah, and they're like, no, don't go. And he's like, all they want to do is embarrass me. And
So
I'm
I'll
gonna
let him.
Yeah. So he tries to tell him like, hey, you guys go and sleep it off. Well, the gun gets drawn on him, and there's a huge fight, and Phil's the one that ends up with the gun. And which that's hysterical.
Because it's like, of all the people there, you wouldn't expect Phil to be the hero, you know?
Yeah. And, I just like it because he was like, let's get some peace and quiet around here.
Yeah.
He's like, I've got some sort of rash from making in the bushes.
So he's sitting in their tent, and he's playing with this revolver that he takes from one of the guys.
Like, well, why don't you just give
put
us a gun? And he was like, oh, no, I know how to handle a gun.
It's like, I used to keep one at the store,
Yeah.
There's a lot of money. He's like, you got to count down the money at the end of the night.
Yeah,
he's like, make sure everything balances, all that stuff.
Oh, God. I got nothing.
Yeah, he just breaks down.
Yeah, and he's like, no, you're just, you get to have a do-over. And then they start talking about, like, oh, I remember when we were kids, you always had the do-over. And he's like, yeah, a do-over.
It's like, it's not that simple.
Yeah,
sometimes.
It's really not that simple.
There's a lot of shit going on.
So TR and Jeff take off because they're like, oh, probably afraid we were going to get him in trouble. And he was like, yeah, damn right we would have.
Yeah.
So they don't have anything, and they're like, well, let's just abandon the herd and go. And then Bonnie's like, what are you talking about? We can't do that. There's no grass out here for them to eat. There's no water.
And Ira's like, he's like, well, I don't mean to sound cruel or anything, but so the hell what?
Yeah. But I like Ed because he's like, I'll drive the herd.
Yeah, like by himself.
One guy. And then Phil's like, well, I mean, I'll just stay with him. And I mean, you have to imagine they probably got, a couple hundred head of cattle that they're trying to drive, which would be impossible for two people.
I mean, it depends on the terrain, I guess.
Yeah, which, I mean, they say it's pretty rough.
I'm sure it's not easy.
Yeah. So, but I do like that,
they don't know where the hell they're going either.
Yeah.
But Mitch says that he's not going to go.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just going to leave with the rest of them.
Yeah, which is funny because I like, he does leave with them. And, Phil and Ed are going to, drive this herd. And then I guess midpoint through the day, they're like, no, you said you were doing, nah. And then, he's trying to round up some stragglers, and he's like, to hell with you. And then they start coming back, and he was like, oh, so that's all I had to do. But then you see Mitch, and they're like, hey, it's Mitch. It's Mitchie the kid.
Yes, but
it's
with
like,
a different article of clothing. He's wearing Curly's cowboy hat.
Yeah, but it's funny because I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, okay, now you're going to tell me that the herd is all just like in order now because there's a third person? I doubt it. I imagine that it's still going to be just as hectic.
Not just any person. Mitchie the kid.
Yeah. So
it makes all the difference. But I mean, the three of them, it's like, it's good. Good for their friendship, good for their relationship. They get to kind of tie up some loose ends.
Yes.
And they have this, moment. This is their opportunity to be able to bond again.
Right.
And do something that they've never had a chance to do before. So it's pretty touching that the three of them got to have this experience. And they're basically having it's like the blind leading the blind, trying to get this cattle back to the ranch in Colorado.
Is it ever?
Yeah.
You got three guys out there that have never been on a cattle drive before, have absolutely no idea what they're doing. One of them is like lasso incompetent. So, but when it does come down to it, he becomes a lasso professional.
Yeah.
Because Norman's going to die.
Well,
eventually.
There was a chance.
Not today.
Yeah, not during this cattle drive.
Yeah, not today, Satan.
He died of old age, probably. I think it was when it was just the three of them when they have the whole worst day, best day thing.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Well, Mitch, I think he was the first one.
Yeah, his best day was when he was 7 years old with his dad when he went to his first baseball game.
Yeah, he's like, and, up until then, he's like, all we had was the TV, black and white. He's like, so this is the first time I ever got to watch a game in color.
Yeah.
He's like, so.
My dad taught me how to keep score. Make you hit
one out. Yeah. It's like, it was a good day.
Yeah, and then out of nowhere, Phil's like, my wedding day was my best day. And he was like, my dad was there. He was happy. He winked at me, and he was like, yeah, I just kind of figured out, like, I'm no longer a goofball.
I'm no longer a screw up. Yeah. He's like,
no,
my dad's.
You still are.
He's like, my dad's not the warmest guy in the world.
Yeah.
But he gave me a wink.
Yeah. He's like, Arlene looked beautiful. And then they were like,
what was your worst day?
It's like, every day since has been a tie.
Ed, what about you?
Nope, I'm not going to talk about it.
I don't want to play.
He's the one that started the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then it's like, nah, I'm not playing this game.
It's like, oh, come on, you got to. He's like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah.
He's like, all right,
fine. All right.
And then after a brief moment of silence, he's like talking about a situation where his,
okay.
Okay, Ed.
I don't mean to laugh at that.
My dad.
He's like, I'm 14. And my mom caught my dad again.
This time she comes to the house to pick him up.
Yeah, he's like, oh, got her. Got him. What are you talking? God bless it.
Knew it.
She came to the house to pick him up. You idiot.
Yeah, so I knew at that point, like, he needed to leave. So he's like, I went up to my dad and I told him, he's like, you know what? You're no good to us anymore.
You're bad to us. We don't love you.
He's like, you need to leave.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll take care of the family. He makes like he's gonna hit me, but then he doesn't, and then he takes off. Never seen him since then.
You're like, God, what was your worst day?
It's like the same day.
Because it's like, God bless it.
Oh, but then like Mitch says his worst day. He's like, well, Barbara found a lump, and Ed's like, Jesus.
He's like, yeah. He goes, God, I spent the whole day. He's like, turned out to be nothing, but and he was like, oh, so it was a good day. And he was like, no, it was a bad day. He's like,
but everything had turned out to be good.
Yeah. And it's just like, come on, Ed, just let him have his.
Let him have his bad day.
If that's his worst day, then that's his worst day. I mean, my gosh.
That can still be a bad day, even if it ends on a positive note. Like a whole day, the majority of the day was shit because he was scared, That can still be a bad thing.
Yep.
God.
I do like the VCR conversation, though.
He doesn't get it.
Shut up.
He's never going to get it.
He's like, you've been talking about it for 4 hours.
The cows can record a program by now.
He's like, you don't even need a TV to record it. And he was like, well, how am I going to
watch it? Well, you need a TV to watch it.
Yeah, you need a TV to watch it.
He's like, so if you're recording, he's like, don't you have to be on channel 3, right? And he's like, no. He's like, you don't have to be on the same channel that you're watching. Yeah, but he's like, well, what about the clock? He's like, I'm going to deck you.
That's it, pal. So, yeah, and then the rainstorm happens, and they're trying to cross the river.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out, like, what Curly had told them. Like, they're going to see
a river and then a valley.
Right. So they have no choice but to cross this river with the herd. And I think Ed goes out to see how deep it is.
Well, it's funny because they argue about it at first because they're like, oh, well, maybe we could find somewhere shallower. And he was like, well, maybe this is the shallow part.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. And he was like, that could take days to go back and try and find. And, I mean, in all essence, Ed made a good call. It's like, here's a path right here. We know there's a path right here. Here's the river. I'll go down and scope it out. And then he even says, he was like, it's not that deep, but the horse is like just barely above the water. And it's like, well, that looks pretty deep to me because the horse is going to be like 8 feet tall, 7.5, 8 feet tall. And if its head's just out of the water, it's like, yeah, it seems pretty deep to me. But then again, I don't know. That's why I don't go on cattle drives.
Well, they go ahead and get the cattle to go across, and everything seems well. All of the 3 guys make it across too, and then out of nowhere you hear, "No,
Norman!"
Yeah, and I don't know why Mitch didn't even think about Norman the entire time. They're getting all these cattle across.
I guess he just kind of figured, hey,
he could do
everything would be everyone's strong enough to come across this.
I mean, he's been walking since the day I pulled him out of his mom's vagina.
Yeah.
He knows how to swim.
It's boring, but it's part of my life.
So, yeah, I mean, he has no choice because he's bonded with this animal and he's got to save him. So this is where his roping skills are put to the test.
Yep. And he succeeds.
Yes, but then he kind of the horse gets pulled down.
Yep.
By
I think the horse tripped.
Maybe.
By gosh. So he so from there, Phil and Ed have to save Mitch.
Who's saving
Norman?
Who's saving who anymore?
Yeah. Everybody's saving everybody.
Everybody love everybody.
Yep. So they do eventually save, which really kind of it sucks because they were still on the wrong side of the river.
Yep, they got to cross it again.
Yep.
Shit.
So let's try this again. Take 2.
We're just going to hold Norman up over our heads, I guess.
Yeah. Either that or just keep him lassoed and drag his ass across the river.
But honestly, like all jokes aside, this has always been one of my favorite scenes because it's such an emotional scene because you don't want anything to happen to Norman, and then at the same time you don't want anything happening to Mitch either.
Or Ed or Phil.
When everybody is saved, it's like they just have this moment where it's like, we almost lost you, man. and then
But you didn't.
Yeah. So it was a good day.
Today's my best day.
But it's like it was such I remember crying, I think, the first couple times I saw this movie at that scene because it was just such a touching, bonding moment with the guys. And to this day, it's still one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, that's a good part in the movie.
For sure.
My favorite part was when it was over.
Oh.
No. No, I'm just kidding.
My favorite part was when Jake Gyllenhaal does that weird shoulder popping thing.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
I know it is. And he felt my urethra shrink up. But so finally they get through everything. They get down to the valley and they show up at the ranch, which is funny because Cookie's there. I didn't think that they brought Cookie to the ranch.
Yeah.
I thought they brought him to a separate town.
Like to get medical help.
Yeah. So, I don't know. What do I know?
Well,
So maybe they just stumbled across that house.
Or maybe they did and then they brought him to the ranch.
Yeah.
I don't know because he did have a cast on.
Two casts.
He had 2 casts and the crutches that he used to ring the dinner bell.
Yep. And everybody comes running out like they had all found their way.
And this is one of my favorite lines in the whole movie when the ranch owner, he's like, "Great gobs of goose shit." And it's funny because he has these weird Southern-esque, I guess, analogies throughout the movie.
That don't make any sense.
Yeah. But like when they're bringing in this herd, he's like, "Man, I tell you, I'm about as happy as a puppy with 2 Peters." It's like, where do you get this shit?
Yeah. I don't understand it. I mean, because I would sit there and just be like, I'm as happy as a guy with 2 Peters.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be fun, but a puppy.
Puppy don't know what to do with them Peters.
Yeah.
But, dude, I do like when, before they leave, like after when they first get to the ranch and they're picking out the clothing to wear, and Ed, he's got the
red man.
He's got dip.
Yeah, the red man, Chew.
And he goes to spit into the spittoon, and, clearly he's had no experience.
Correct.
So, why he would aim for this spittoon that's like right near a bunch of shirts that are folded right next to it.
It's just bad placement of this spittoon.
This horrible placement. Yes.
I'll take that shirt too.
Yeah, because he spits right on it.
Yep.
That's never going to come out.
Nerp.
They should have put it by the door. Outside. Stupid.
They could have put it on the floor, literally right next to where you're checking out.
Anywhere would have been better.
Right next to all the brand new stuff. Yeah, so, at the end when they get the cattle in, that's when the son, the dentist's son, was like, well, instead of giving, and he even tells him, he's like, give you all your money back. Which you kind of have to imagine, hey, and I like the wife too, because she's like, what?
She looks over at him like, what?
But you're sitting there thinking to yourself, like, okay, one, the trail boss died literally on the cattle drive. Does that suck? Yes, it does. Unfortunate, of course. But then you have Cookie who goes crazy, like crazy drunk, and destroys all your food.
Like, I would fire his ass.
Yeah, I would have fired him too. Would have been like, oh yeah, no, Cookie, that you're now at this point you're a liability. And then you have the other two trail hands that had to come up and be like, oh, okay, well now we have to be in charge, and then they get drunk.
Yeah,
so
you don't even see them at the end.
Yeah, a refund would be the least that this guy could do. But then the son's like, nah, I'd rather just help you drive the cattle back with my dad, going back to your other ranch. And he was like, oh, that's generous, but we're not taking these back.
He's like, normally, yeah, we just move them back and forth between the two ranches. He's like, but price of beef is like
through the roof right now. He's like, and I just can't afford to
pass it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's how a lot of these farm people make money is, they sell they get cows when they're calves, or they get cows and bulls so they can breed, grow those up, and then sell them off to be slaughtered. That's how they make their money.
He does make that point. He's like, it's not like they have a whole lot to live for anyway.
Yeah.
It's what they're bred for. So you see Mitch, that evening, he's just kind of sitting outside, just looking out at the herd and everything, and then out of nowhere, Norman comes walking up.
Are you going to let them kill me? Oh, that's sorry. That's a lamb.
That's weird. It's very odd.
Yeah.
Out of place. Not that kind of ranch.
Oh, darn.
He's like looking at Norman, and he like looks behind him. He's like, what? Like me?
Oh, me?
What?
Oh, God.
But, he figures out that one thing that Curly was talking about. And
yes.
He never says what it is, but I get the impression it's Norman, but I don't think it's Norman. But he does fall in love with this calf.
Yeah.
And ends up bringing him home with him.
Yeah. We got a dog? Even better.
Yes.
It's not really better.
It's a puppy with 2 Peters.
But it's funny because Norman is a cow. So
where are you going to put it?
It'd be a woman. Because bulls are the men. So, I mean.
No, Norman is a bull.
Yeah.
Because remember in the second movie?
Nope, haven't seen it.
You haven't seen the second one?
Nope. Does he go to milk the bull?
John Lovitz's character does.
Awesome.
He's like, yeah, I was going to milk the cow. I thought it would be nice to get everyone from fresh milk, so I'm tugging and tugging and nothing's coming out. He's like, Norman's a boy cow. You were tugging on his dick.
No, I've seen the second one. It's been a long time, though.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing this afternoon.
I mean, as far as sequels go, they definitely did a great job with that one. And the fact that they found a way to bring Jack Palance back was awesome. But, brings the cow back with him, and he finds his smile, which apparently he had lost.
Yeah, he found it in Colorado.
Yeah, it's always the last place you look.
She was like, I've been thinking, Mitch, if you want to quit your job. He's like, I don't want to quit my job. I'm just going to do it better.
Yeah, I'm going to do everything better.
Yeah. And then, so they all head home. But I like it. He was like, oh, no, he's going to stay in the den.
And then at your mother's.
Yeah.
But I like
we'll open up a petting zoo. That way you can be with your mom.
That's it. But I like when he puts him in, and he's like about to drive off. He's like, seatbelts, everyone, seatbelts. Norman. And she's like, Mitch.
It's a long drive.
Hope everybody went to the bathroom. Yeesh.
Yep. Nah, so, all right, well, that is City Slickers, everyone.
It sure enough is. And until, I don't even know what the hell we're doing next, but it doesn't matter, because we're not telling you.
Because we don't know either.
Exactly.
We used to have a list.
We don't. No, the list still exists.
It does.
Somewhere.
I don't know where to find it.
I thought you were keeping track of it.
I wrote it down somewhere.
Yeah, it's not important. All right, everyone. We enjoyed this. Hopefully you did too. And until next time, Quotable Podcast out.